A pleasant good morning to you from a very frigid Wilson, North Carolina. My name is Eric Little, and it's time for USU Soccer National League, presented by Torbo Sports Group. Today, on our first matchup of four, we have United Soccer Academy Premier out of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, against Bethesda Soccer Club Blue out of Bethesda, Maryland. Bethesda's head coach is Luke Wildy. They will be wearing the white today. You see them on the left side of your screen. And USA Mount Pleasant will be wearing red today. You see them on the right side of your screen. Their head coach is David Jordan. He's a 3-year captain back in the day at the College of Charleston. Of course, Mount Pleasant in the Charleston, South Carolina area. Bethesda, Maryland, not far from Washington, D.C., known for a lot of things, among others, Johns Hopkins Medical Center. So you got Bethesda today and Mount Pleasant in the first of four matchups here from the Gillette Sports Complex in Wilson, North Carolina. A cool day yesterday, temperatures in the low 50s, high 40s, but it was windy and cloudy. We barely saw the sun yesterday. Well, today, if you can see this, a lot of sunshine, blue skies, but it is much cooler. 35 degrees here at kickoff, and we expect temperatures to only reach the low 40s throughout the day, and then it's going to dip cooler before the evening's final match of the day. So we've got a long day of matches. It's going to be cool here, but hopefully you're nice and warm and comfortable wherever you are, and we're glad to bring the action to you here through this video stream. The wind is blowing on your screen from bottom to top, so as we said yesterday, if you were with us yesterday, any corner kicks or throw-ins from the bottom of your screen to the top will be wind aided, and anything else will be against the wind, and that will make it tougher for players, and that's something they struggled with yesterday, getting the right amount of power on those throw-ins and the corner kicks that would hang up if you were kicking from one side of the field and would be wind aided and even more strong if you were kicking from another side of the field. We'll also see how the keepers are affected by that too when they kick the ball deep, or whether they will play a short game when they look to reset the table on their end. Keeper for Mount Pleasant. We'll check that. We'll get to the keepers in just a second. We're about to start our match, and with first possession, it is Bethesda of the near side. That is Carlos Daniel Donoso. He'll be knocked out of play. Bethesda will maintain. Pass from David Wang in the middle to Ian Poe. Taken away. The ball goes back to Mount Pleasant. United Soccer Academy, one of a number of soccer academies throughout the country. Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, the suburb of Charleston, South Carolina. A neighboring town, if you would. Pushed along the far side, Jeffrey Mason with it, and he can't keep it in play. Throw in on the far side. Brian Bracey trying to control, dogged by a couple defenders. Bracey sends it out of play beyond the goal line. That will send Bethesda keeper Bennett Schwartz chasing after that one. In case you're wondering, by the way, this is a natural grass surface. And you might be wondering, well, why is everything else a tan brown around it? Well, the fields are a different blend. This is a winter ryegrass on the field, so they're greener and a little bit more lush, albeit somewhat dry to the touch, having been out there yesterday. But that is a natural grass surface. Next year, I believe the plan is to make this field and a couple others artificial surfaces. A boot deep. Loose ball in midfield, headed into the Bethesda end. I'll fight for it at midfield. Give and go from Andrew Wood. They're looking to find Elias Norris in the far side. Not able to make the connection. Taken over by Mount Pleasant. And they'll send it deep into the Bethesda end. Kept in play on the far side by Pattison Mangus. Mount Pleasant trying to work things back the other direction. Good pivot from Zeno Regaro. but they can't keep it in play. The throw-in will come around midfield. Head back the other direction from Carlos Daniel Donoso. Mount Pleasant trying to maintain some possession. Playing a lot of back and forth soccer. As I was saying a moment ago, the city of Wilson, North Carolina and county commissioners recently approved $3.2 million in funding. This field and another field of this complex, at least, maybe another, will be covered with an artificial surface for next year. Further upgrades to make sure this event stays. And a trip on the far side. Shaw Honecker knocks the Mount Pleasant player off the ball, no foul. Mount Pleasant will maintain possession. And given quickly back to Bethesda. Good poke check. And a steal for Mount Pleasant. Bez Carranza looking to go deep into the end for Trevor Lighthouser, but a little too strong. See a whistle, and a free kick will come out to midfield, or in the middle of the field. Bennett Schwartz, as I said, the Bethesda keeper. And in goal for Mount Pleasant is James Bernard. See a throw in for Mount Pleasant on their end of the field. Almost a steal on the far end. Young Scofano has that one knocked away. Again, Mount Pleasant Premier in red out of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Bethesda blue out of Bethesda, Maryland. You have to imagine these conditions aren't great for Mount Pleasant. Bethesda head coach Luke Wilde was asked about this by one of the officials. He said, "We're from Maryland. This is great weather." Mount Pleasant will possess on the far end. Send it into the zone, looking for Bez Carranza. Carranza trying to go to his left. Maybe an angle, no. Great slide and a block. David Wang got in there for Bethesda, or Wang rather. A great slide to help take the angle away and keep the business away from Bethesda keeper Bennett Schwartz. Corner kick coming up on the near side. Again, wind aided. Bethesda heads it away out of the zone. At the top of the box. Rishvalski slides it to the right side. Mount Pleasant tries to work it inside, can't do it. And they try to keep it in the zone, but Bethesda moves it the other direction. Good ball to the near side. Andrew Wood on the corner. Wood steps around the defender. Slide to the middle. Almost a look for Elias Norris. Wasn't able to handle it. And Mount Pleasant goes back the other way. Great ball, but Norris couldn't handle it in the middle. And a throw, and it'll come on the far side. Some frustration, I think, on the Bethesda sideline. They had a great chance to score early on. They'll have a chance here on the far side. A foot race to the goal line. And they can't keep the ball in bounds. So James Bernard will set things up on his end. 8th minute of the match. The 4 matches here yesterday, only one played to a scoreless draw. That was the final match of the day. And Bethesda will have a chance taken away. Mount Pleasant trying to sweep out of the zone, but Wang stepping up. Lost possession. Ahead of the play. Chance for Trevor Lighthouse from the left side. Left foot shot and a big save from Schwartz. Pushes it to the right and a big block on the far side. 2 big chances for Mount Pleasant. One swept away by the keeper, another swept away by a defender. Mount Pleasant, do they have another chance at this attack? Good work by Andrew Wood to sweep that away, but it's taken right back by Mount Pleasant. Looking for Carranza on the left side. Can't get to him, but they'll go inside the box. And Zeno Ruggiero misfires left and is tripped up in a collision with the keeper, Schwartz. Ruggiero didn't make great contact on the ball, didn't have a lot of room to work with. And then a run-in with Schwartz. So the ball goes beyond the end line. Schwartz runs it down, and another scoring attempt by the wayside. Strong kick, slightly wind-aided. Header sends it back the other way, though. Carranza will set things up. We'll go back into the zone for Ruggiero. Left side, a chance for Lighthouser. Lighthouser changes directions. Lighthouser back up top. Finds Richvalski. Thomas Richvalski tries to send it into the box. Deflected away. Gets it back. Right side now. Scafano leaves it back. All right side, a chip into the zone, held up by the wind. No one can get to it. Loose ball in the corner, 50-50 ball. And Bethesda is able to take the heat out of the kitchen and possibly a chance on the other end. No. Played forward by the keeper, Bernard. How about the chase given by Ryan Sevilla Garcia? Ryan Sevilla Garcia found the ball cleared by Bethesda, and in a foot race had a chance momentarily to run that down, but chance went by the wayside. Mount Pleasant possession, not a lot of space on the near side for Jonah Miller. Miller finds Zeno Ruggiero into the far corner, or near corner rather, Trevor Lighthouser. Well defended and knocked out of bounds by Donoso. And Donoso, Carlos Daniel Donoso for Mount Pleasant, comes up a little gimpy. I can't think that that's got to feel particularly good to make contact with player or ball, because neither of these teams have a lot of layers on. Got to go out of play. You see many of these teams, especially from the southern areas, will bring leggings, long sleeves. A lot of these players have sleeves, many do not. And many barely have high socks. Mount Pleasant will possess up top, Richvalski. Looking left, finds some space. A seam for Carranza. Carranza trying to find an angle on the goal line, tripped up. And now Bethesda looking to clear. They do, sent ahead by Andrew Wood. Sevilla Garcia can't get there in time. See a throw in from Bethesda. Wood will take the throw in. Look back toward the middle of the pitch, instead goes into the corner. Miscommunication. Wood gets it back. Ian Poe, the toboggan on his head, looks to move it back to the near side. Here's Donoso sending it into the zone. Headed out. Look for the corner. Wood can't quite get there. And a battle now Ball looking for Norris. Can't find him with the ball. And a whistle at midfield. Foul. Pleasant trying to work it back the other way now. Along the far side. Trevor Lighthouser working against Poe. Lighthouser leaves it back to the middle of the field now. Slide to the left side. A lane for Steven Siegwald. Into the corner, and Carranza will run it down out of play. Fourteenth minute of the match on a very chilly Friday morning from Wilson, North Carolina. Eric Little with you. Glad to have you with us today. We'll look in the corner for Thomas Rijvalski from Mount Pleasant. And a one-hopper right on goal, scooped by Bennett Schwartz. A couple saves for Schwartz today. A couple more difficult than that one. Young Scafano sets things up in the middle again. Back to Steven Siegwald on the near side. Wood steps out to challenge. Carranza into the corner now. Bethesda looking to clear. That one's blocked and sent to the bench. Rattles around the bleachers. Throw in coming for Mount Pleasant on the near side. Siegwald with the honors. Stays in bounds somehow. And now they whistle that out. Siegwald throw in the near corner. Tough battle. How about the work of Elias Norris to dig that out for Bethesda. Now ahead. And good work on the other end for James Bernard to sweep that out. Another look for Norris. Norris knocked off the ball. Gets it back. Left side, looking to get down the middle. Delivers one on goal and a bouncer that is scooped up by Bernard. And you have to wonder if the wind had anything to do with this, but Bernard chooses to play it to the left. Now he'll get it back. I'll send it along the right side. I don't think they see him that way. Scoreless tie thus far between Mount Pleasant of South Carolina in the red, Bethesda, Maryland in the white. Loose ball delivered into the corner. A chance for Alex Robluski. Can't run that down. A throw in coming for Mount Pleasant on the far side. A substitution first. Shaw Hot into the wrong roster. Jeff Mason will come on to replace Steven Siegwald. So sub coming in the 17th minute. And a corner kick coming here for Bethesda, but all of a sudden they've got a player down on the pitch. It looked like Ryan Sevilla Garcia from here. He looked to be chasing after the loose ball, and then about halfway to the corner, he went down and appears to have an injury to his right leg. Our athletic trainer, who worked very hard yesterday, she looks like Nanook of the North today, as she did yesterday. She'll come out to attend to that. And Sevilla Garcia to his feet. seems to be in no small amount of discomfort. I don't have a look at our athletic trainer, but when I saw her earlier today, she had maybe an inch around her eyes uncovered. She was very, very well covered from the elements today. Hat, headband, headscarf. And again, he seems to be in a small or no small amount of discomfort. They'll attend to him beyond the goal line. A substitute will come in. Aaron Gunther looks to be the replacement for Bethesda Blue. So Gunther will come on. They'll continue to attend to Sevilla Garcia behind the net. And the corner kick headed out beyond the end line. A lot going on that end of the pitch. There's a net above that fence. And the net protects balls from going into the woods. Every once in a while, players have to hop up on there and fish balls out of where they're hung up between the net and the fence. So that's going on. And now they get Sevilla Garcia to his feet. Meanwhile, another ball thrown into play. Sevilla Garcia walking off on his own power behind the goal with the help of the athletic trainer. Corner kick coming from our side. Headed away. Bethesda maintains. And Mount Pleasant able to clear. But they can't keep it in bounds. Throw in coming on the far side is Ryan Sevilla Garcia continuing to make it back to the bench. Bethesda possession. Up top it's David Wang. A push to Donoso, looking to go inside. Find Ian Poe. Go back out near midfield and Patterson Mangus. Mangus with a play up front for Elias Norris. And Norris leaves it back. We'll send it into the end. Aaron Gunther just into this game trying to chase it down. Can't quite do it on the goal line. Meanwhile, the Bethesda coaching staff finally able to make it to Ryan Sevilla Garcia, and they will help walk him back to the bench. Headers around midfield. Finally, Mount Pleasant tries to settle it down. Lighthouser loses it to Norris for Bethesda. Norris gets it back. A little bit of space, but good steal off the ball from Jonah Miller. Now Mount Pleasant going the other way. Chance for an attack. It's Lighthouser far corner. Some space inside if he wants it. Tripped up. And the ball goes out of play. Good defense from Patterson Mangus on the far side. And this is match 1 of 4 today here from the Gillette Sports Complex in Wilson, North Carolina. If you want to find a hotel room in Wilson, North Carolina for any reason, good luck. This event is booked up just about the entire town. Corner kick coming from the kick coming from the far side. You can see how that hung up in the wind. Loose ball and good play for Bennett Schwartz to step up and take that. Don't have exact wind speeds, but just by eyeballing the flags, that's not 15, 20 miles an hour. That wouldn't surprise me. And you saw how anything that comes from that far side will be held up in that wind. I think these players are figuring that out, and we'll see how they adjust. 50-50 ball gathered by Andrew Wood. Bethesda will try to hold on. Look along the far side. A scrap. Alex Robluski tried to maintain, can't do it for Bethesda. Goes to the other end now. Foot race. Zeno Riguero for Mount Pleasant. Can't keep that in bounds. And collision between Riguero and David Wang. A lot of contact. So Bennett Schwartz for Bethesda will put his left leg into this one. Sent to the middle of the pitch. They all miss. Chase down to the far corner. It was Aaron Gunther fighting for it in the middle of the pitch, and Robluski on the far side. Now the one could corral. So we'll see a throw in coming from the far side. Again, into the wind for Bethesda. Leaves it up for Rotendo Maria. And now some more whistles on the far side as the throw in goes to Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant does not have a very big bench this trip. Only got a couple of reserves, and for that matter, so too does Bethesda. And it's an even shorter bench now for Bethesda head coach Luke Wildy, with Ryan Sevilla Garcia on the shelf for the time being. We'll continue to evaluate him. Ian Poe heads this back forward. Chased down by Rotendo Maria. And he's not able to run that down before it goes out of play. Throw in for Mount Pleasant. We'll see if they can turn up the field. Nice pass to the far side. A block. A lot of contact there for Ian Poe. Excuse me, Robluski on the far side. That could not have felt good on a 35-degree day. Saw this a lot yesterday. Very visceral responses from some of the players. Facial expressions were not pleased. They had to make a block. Jamie Coaches will come in for Mount Pleasant. And so too will Andrew Weil, as Zeno Ruggiero and Trevor Lighthouser come to the bench. Subs coming in the 25th minute for David Jordan's USA Premier Club. A couple subs at the next whistle for Bethesda. Ball work to the middle of the pitch, coming to the near side. Mount Pleasant tries to turn it up the field. We'll have a little bit of room on the near side to work with it. Great pass, but Andrew Weil coming up with an issue as he turns this one back up the middle of the field. He's limping as he goes back into the play. Still on the far side. He looks to have run his issue off. It'll be Bethesda's on the far side. Alex Robluski trying to run it down in the far corner. We sent back the other way by the keeper, Bernard. The header missed by Robluski. And Mount Pleasant coming back the other way. Bethesda looking to make even more subs. Will work at the middle of the field. I'll try to have a chance on their end. And an offsides call. And with that, they come to a whistle and we'll see some subs. Toby Joseph, Shaw Honaker, and Toby Olney will come on for Bethesda in the 27th minute. And we'll give a break to Rotendo Maria, Harrison Moore, and Alex Robluski. 16U match between Bethesda SC Blue and Mount Pleasant Premier, USA Premier, United Soccer Academy Premier at Mount Pleasant. No score here, the 28th minute. Now on the far side, Mount Pleasant tries to work it to the middle of the field, left in no man's land. Andrew Wood sweeps that away for Bethesda. Throw in on the far side. Sent back to the middle. Strong header from Wood, but Mount Pleasant covers. Again, Poe keeps it in for Bethesda. Wood being instructed to go to the corner, knocked off the ball. Jonah Miller with the good defense. Poe recovers and sets up shop again. Toby Olney will find Elias Norris. Norris knocked off the ball. Andrew Wood looks for the corner. Had help, but a cross falls on enemy feet. Toby Joseph tried to cross there and wasn't able to do so. We'll see if Wood can get anything going in the zone. That's booted out. Andrew Weil trying to turn the corner. To the far side now. Look for Scofano. Misses him. Poe sends it deep into the end. Here comes Andrew Wood working on his man in the corner. Wood working hard to scrap that out. Not able to keep it in. See a throw in coming from Mount Pleasant. As Carranza finds Jonah Miller, who sends it deep. Excuse me, it's Rajvalski. Now a chance in the middle again. And that one knocked well out of play. Norris tried to turn the edge. We really haven't seen a shot on goal in a while, and of the two keepers, it is Bethesda's Bennett Schwartz that's been much more tested than James Bernard of Mount Pleasant. A throw in coming here on the Bethesda end. Misses its intended target. Possession save, David Wang misses over the crossbar. Not a bad idea to send one on goal, but a little strong. So they'll chase that down beyond the goal. Bernard will set it up once more. Still scoreless between Bethesda Blue, they're wearing the white today, and USA out of Mount Pleasant. United Soccer Academy wearing red. Chase on the far side. Shaw Honecker throws it in. Scrap as Mount Pleasant knocks their man off the ball. A couple more subs coming in. The next whistle for Bethesda. Bethesda looking to work it to the middle of the field, can't do it. Chance the other way. In transition. To the corner, an opportunity for Carranza. And a collision between Carranza and Schwartz. Schwartz is able to get back in goal. Footing lost for Lighthouser. And Bethesda moving back the other way and quickly. David Wang to the middle. Wang leaves it back. He'll get it back. And they give it up. Another opportunity the other way for Carranza. Contact there, and now Carranza tripped up after the slide tackle, and that will be a whistle. Contact whistled on David Wang. And now the substitutions for Bethesda. Diego Ramirez Munoz and Simone Pierpoli will come on. Andrew Wood to the bench. And also Aaron Gunther to the bench. Gunther replaced Ryan Sevilla Garcia when he had to leave with an injury about 15 minutes ago. Sent into the zone, headed around. And Mount Pleasant can't control. Bethesda sends a deep foot race on the far side, booted away before Pierpoli can get there. Throw in on the far side. Rich Volsky working in the middle of the defenders. Trying to clear from Mount Pleasant. Come back to the near side. Mount Pleasant trying to turn up field. Near side for Jackson Stebbins. Stebbins, the business into that block. As Donoso got there first. Donoso will throw in now. Scafano sends it back upfield. A lot of contact and a shove. And are we going to see a card here? Now just a foul. Looks like they tripped up, but the hands a little active there. Official looked like he almost pulled out a card. So Bethesda will have a look. They send it into the zone. Hand it away. Stebbins trying to control. Send it back out to midfield. Tony Olney goes inside for Toby Joseph. Off the ankle, loose ball. Swept up by Bernard. Bernard keeps it on the ground to the left side. 36th minute of a scoreless match here in the first half. Stebbins has it blocked. Here's Donoso trying to turn the corner. Donoso with some space. A throw in coming. Left out front for for Norris. Norris to Donoso in the corner. Throw in coming from Elias Norris. Left back for Toby Joseph. That's it taken from him by Stebbins. Mount Pleasant can't win the battle. Stebbins has that blocked. Slide tackle in the middle of the field. Wang takes this man down. It's Bez Carranza. They're back on their feet. Bethesda will hold on. Turn from Donoso to keep things alive. He gets it back. Stebbins providing stingy defense. Munoz dribbling into the corner. Gets it back. Can he run it down? He'll not be able to get there. A lot to play for this week. Of course, the U.S. Youth Soccer National League featuring the top teams in the country. They've earned their place through success in their respective Youth Soccer Regional Championships or success in their respective regional leagues, or even a top finish in last year's National League. The theme of the series is Earn Your Place. Interact on Twitter using the hashtag Earn Your Place. That's not only the official hashtag of the National League, that is the slogan. So all these teams battling to stay in the National League. Speaking of battles, a tough battle is won by Bethesda for the time being as Donoso sends it deep. Scooped up by Bernard as He'll play it to the right side. Jamie Coach is trying to turn the corner on the far side. He's having some trouble with that. Throw in far side for Bethesda. To the corner. Bounding ball. Knocked away by Bernard. But run down by Ramirez Munoz. Taken away by Mount Pleasant. It's been a while since Mount Pleasant has given Bennett Schwartz a lot to sweat about. Not sure that he could sweat on a day like this. Very chilly here. The goal missed by 2 defenders. A chance for Stebbins. Leaves it back. And a good block as Mason tried to turn. Blocked by 2 defenders. Stebbins had a great shot, but not able to turn the edge. Another chance on the attack for Mount Pleasant. And the cross deflected away. 40th minute here, late first half. From the Gillette Sports Complex in Wilson, North Carolina. A city with a rich sports heritage, a state with a rich sports heritage. Schwartz sends this one deep. That cross wind, that'll be held up. Mount Pleasant on the attack again. But Bethesda takes it away in the middle of the field. But back the other way. They'll look to mount an attack here in the last few minutes as Ian Poe at midfield leaves it back. Push to the left side. This is strong, but a little too strong. And James Bernard resets things. Look in the middle for Toby Joseph. And an offsides call, I believe. Free kick awarded here to Bethesda. Will be taken by David Wang. Sent left side. Played out by Bennett Schwartz. Schwartz has it taken away, and Mount Pleasant needed to clear. They had Schwartz way out of position. They couldn't mount an attack. Schwartz came a long way up to make that play and needed to clear it more than he did. Scafano get it back off the deflection. To the near side for Mason. Stebbins, give and go. Stebbins on the left side. Jackson Stebbins with 2 defenders. Knocked off the ball. And with that, we are at the half of the 16U matchup between USA Premier of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, and Bethesda Blue of Bethesda, Maryland. We'll take a break here in just a moment. We'll have our halftime. We'll have a second half after this. Good defensive battle as both teams scrapped and had a couple chances on goal, especially some big saves for the Bethesda keeper, Bennett Shorts. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Nike, by Bubba Burger, by Kohl's, by Major League Soccer, by Nestle's Nesquik, by the Positive Coaching Alliance, by Toyota, by Wilson Trophy Company, by NSCAA, and by USA Soccer. So at the half, it is Bethesda Blue and USA Mount Pleasant Premier scoreless, or a scoreless tie. The second half coming up after this from the Gillette Soccer Complex in Wilson, North Carolina. December afternoon, December morning. Eric Little with you. Second half action coming up momentarily in this match between USA Premier out of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, and Bethesda Blue out of Bethesda, Maryland. Bethesda in the white and USA Premier in the crimson red tops. Defensive struggle in the first half. Well played first half. Some strong attacks by the folks on the Mount Pleasant end. Good work in goal from the Bethesda keeper Bennett Schwartz. Thwarted a couple opportunities for Mount Pleasant to score early in the half. Bethesda had a couple chances throughout the half, but they were on the defensive more often than not. So Mount Pleasant will have their chance here to start things off in the second half. Glad to have you with us today. Again, sunny and beautiful today, but don't let that deceive you if you're watching at home. You might be able to see that wind in the flags, banners, and tents. Maybe even the jerseys of the players. Those kits are flapping around. It is about a 15-20 mile an hour wind blowing from the top of the screen to the bottom of the screen to the top. And current temperature is 38 degrees, so it's sunny, but it's very chilly, especially with that wind. Mount Pleasant will have Zena Ruggiero knocked off the ball. A scrap on the near side, won by Mount Pleasant. Jamie Coaches digs that out. Deflection off Bethesda. So it'll be played by Mount Pleasant. I'll look for Jeff Mason. Along the near sideline, they'll send it back to the middle. Push back toward Yang Scafano, far side. And Mount Pleasant can't control. Again, a 16U match between Mount Pleasant and Bethesda. There are two 16U matches at this field today and two 18U matches. Shot on the right side, and the attempt missed. Down the feed from Andrew Weil. Nice cross, but misfire over the goal on the far end. Getting a look at who that was that had the attempt on the goal. Bethesda on the other end. Bez Carranza on the far end for Mount Pleasant. On the cross from Weil had a shot. Was not able to keep it low. A foot race now. As Ryan Sevilla Garcia, perhaps the best news of the day for Bethesda, back in. Not able to run that down. He's got some space on the far side, but instead that'll be played back to the keeper. Sevilla Garcia went down with a leg injury about 15 minutes into the match for Bethesda. Had to leave. His coach evaluated him at the half and said he was fine to go. Meanwhile, a change in goal for Bethesda as Josh Warsaw replaces Bennett Schwartz. Schwartz getting instruction from Luke Wildy, the head coach. So that changed for Bethesda in the second half. Schwartz played a great first half. Made some big saves. But will be replaced in the scoreless draw in the second half. Meanwhile, an attack on the other end. Off the foot. And they'll keep it low and miss just wide. Sevilla Garcia missed just wide after Robluski couldn't corral it on the side of the foot. feed in for Robluski. After he couldn't corral, Sevilla Garcia missed just a little wide. Bethesda bench couldn't believe they were that close. Settled by Robluski. Looking for Sevilla Garcia. Mount Pleasant tries to play it out. Jamie Coaches tripped off the ball. Harrison Moore will settle. Looking for space, a little too strong. Mount Pleasant goes the other way. And lost out. They back to the middle of the field. Ruggiero tripped off the ball. Z and Poe to Sevilla Garcia. And all kinds of trouble in the middle for Elias Norris. And Norris with a lot of contact, and Luke Wildey wants a call, not going to get the call. He wanted a card, not going to get the card. Bethesda maintain on the foul. Footing lost for Robluski. Poe plays it to Robluski. Back in the middle, cleared from Mount Pleasant. Strong clearance from Ruggiero. Run down, far side, a chance for Andrew Weil. Weil turning the corner in the area, just misses. Looking for help on the backside, it didn't get there in time. Mount Pleasant maintains possession. Good hustle in the corner to keep that alive, but defended by Toby Joseph. On the far end, or not Joseph, but and looking right to the sun. Tough to get a look at that. So we see a throw in from the far side. Again, this is against the wind. The wind is blowing from the bottom of your screen to the top of your screen. So anything thrown in from the top side is thrown in against the wind. And keep that in mind when you watch corner kicks from there as well. Speaking of the wind, our entire Torbo Sports Group crew doing yeoman's work out in this cold in the wind. Our camera guys on the scaffolds doing excellent work today, and we thank them for all their efforts. Our producers in the truck doing excellent also. Robluski plays this to the middle. An attack for Bethesda. Contact between Sevilla Garcia and Jonah Miller. Mount Pleasant will have another look. This is Ben Fesu. Strong boot into that one. The far side, a shot on goal, knocked down and covered by Warsaw. Warsaw gets his first test of the day. Warsaw deciding what he wants to do with it. Strong kick into that crosswind, sinks quickly. An attack on the Bethesda end for Sevilla Garcia. Knocked off the ball. Still loose. Here's Ian Poe. Push to the right side. Sevilla Garcia again on the attack. Sends it on to the middle. Robluski with a head. And it bounds right into the waiting arms of James Bernard. We are scoreless in the 49th minute of this U16 match. Bethesda Blue SC in white out of Bethesda, Maryland, excuse me. United Soccer Academy premiere out of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina in the red. To the middle now, Bethesda. Poe tries to slide this over. Finds some help in Elias Norris. Norris finds Rotendo Mariah. Far side, Sevilla Garcia. Working against Steven Siegwald. Siegwald wins the battle. Nope, taken right back away. I'll go out on the far side. Loose in the middle. And Bethesda trying to mount a serious attack on goal. Harrison Moore steps up, tries to split three defenders, can't do it. Poe holds on. To Norris now. Push left side, an opportunity for Harrison Moore if he can work it from the corner. Moore with a cross, nobody there. Sent around to the middle. Mount Pleasant on the attack at the other end. Ruggiero and Warsaw slipped, but gets to his feet to scoop that up before the backside attack can come from Jonah Miller. Miller was on his way from the back end, but could not cover in time. Here's Poe across midfield. Sends it to the end. Wroblewski almost had a chance. Now it's into Wroblewski's area, but scooped up by James Bernard. Wroblewski almost ran into Bernard the first time and had an opportunity, but the defenders were able to get that away, but kept in the zone. Excuse me, not Bernard. Logan McCoy, the keeper now for Mount Pleasant in this second half. So they have changed keepers as well. So Logan McCoy, the keeper for Mount Pleasant in this half. And it is Josh Warsaw for Bethesda. That one's in the box. Can they turn on it? Warsaw dives, covers up, scrambles, and the loose ball knocked in. And Mount Pleasant makes it 1-0. Warsaw couldn't cover. And Mount Pleasant takes advantage of the opportunity to go up 1-0 in the 52nd minute. Still trying to get a look at the number on the goal scorer. Looks like that was Zeno Ruggiero with a goal in the 51st minute. So Ruggiero makes this 1-0. Mount Pleasant will try to make that stand. Bethesda looking for the equalizer. Sent the other way. Can Mount Pleasant make it a second? Andrew Weil fights for it hard. This has picked up a lot of intensity since that goal. Delivered on goal off the chest of Warsaw. He tried to cover it up, and while he was down on the ground, Ruggiero got in from behind and was able to nudge it in. A tight defensive struggle. Finally see some ice broken. It's Ruggiero on the right side now. Ruggiero chips one on goal. Now in the box once again. Goal is saved by Warsaw. Or shot is saved by Warsaw, excuse me. So Warsaw covers that one. Throw it on the far side, deflected away. Mount Pleasant will have a throw. On the far side, this is Andrew Weil. Leaves it back to the middle, taken away by Mount Pleasant. Or by Bethesda, excuse me. Now Mount Pleasant back with it. Kept in by Thomas Rajwalski. From the right side, Jamie Coaches. Swept loose momentarily. Held by Mount Pleasant. Jonah Miller tripped up, lost the ball. And a whistle. Several players tying their shoe during this stoppage. We're in the 56th minute now. We just entered the 56th minute. And the 1-0 lead for Mount Pleasant. Shot on goal. And that one made it all the way to Warsaw. Warsaw hurrying. Trying to lead the attack the other way quickly. It's through two players. And Mount Pleasant able to take it back. Rich Volsky looking to the middle. Bethesda taking it away, and a lapse for Rotendo Mariah. He lost it, a collision, and that one's out of play. Mount Pleasant player on the far side, a little slower to get up than the rest. Looks to be okay. Stephen Siegwald will deliver back in for Mount Pleasant. Especially for these guys that have been out there a while. This just has to be the kind of day where you do not want to make contact with anybody or the ball, or very tough. As a chance for Zena Ruggiero to turn on one. Goes by the wayside as Warsaw gobbles that up. Warsaw punts it deep. Headed back into the zone. Ruggiero, give and go. He's going to try to chase this down to the corner. Bumped off the ball. Ruggiero to the ground. Bethesda will try to go back onto their end. Substitution forthcoming from Mount Pleasant. Meanwhile, Bethesda trying to work back to their end. We'll have the sub here after this whistle. Bethesda moving back the other way. I thought we were going to get the sub there. It didn't happen. Good job by Logan McCoy to send that back up and sweep that away from the net. Trevor Lighthouser coming back on as soon as he takes the penny off. Penny off, and Lighthouser back into the match to replace Andrew Weil. First thing he wants to do is go get pants and a jacket back on. McCoy thought about stepping up to play it, thought better of it. And the ball goes past the goal line. There's almost collided into that Nike sign on the far side. McCoy will tee it up and send it deep from the corner of the penalty box. Or the corner of the substitutions here as Bethesda will bring on Toby Olani and Toby Joseph. Alexander Robluski will leave, and so will Rotendo Mariah. Meanwhile, McCoy sends it to the other end. Good scrap for the ball as Sevilla Garcia gave it his all, wasn't able to get there for Bethesda. Been a fairly cleanly played match. Not overly aggressive between the two sides. I mean, it's been aggressive, but it's been clean enough. Bethesda will have a kick opportunity. Sevilla Garcia tried to handle it, couldn't. Back the other way for Jamie Coaches. To the middle now, and Yang Scafano. Far side, run down by Siegwald, and he can't quite catch up. Throw incoming. Bethesda player lost footing. A second one taken down, and now a whistle. And a kick has been awarded. A substitution for Mount Pleasant as Jackson Stebbins checks on for Young Scafano. Sent into the area for Bethesda. Opportunity if they can control from Olney. Looking far side for Wang. Wang will run it down. They also had Elias Norris in the area. He couldn't capitalize. This is Sevilla Garcia, can't control. Mount Pleasant will clear. Bethesda keeps it in the zone. Run down to the corner, another opportunity. Knocked away by Jamie Coaches. Harrison Moore trying to turn on that one. Was not able to bring that back around. More of the throw in, deflection. Loose, kept around. Here's Coaches. Coaches tripped up. Bethesda wanted a call. They had Toby Olney around it. Attack coming the other way. Harrison Moore in the middle. Harrison Moore slides right side. Sevilla Garcia has it deflected away. 63rd minute, 1-0. Lead belongs to Mount Pleasant on a goal from Zeno Reguero off the rebound. Second chance effort. Mount Pleasant trying to scoot it the other way, but Poe back for Bethesda to keep things on their end. Well, Moore tried to turn it and couldn't. Going the other way quickly. Lighthouser breakaway opportunity. Lighthouser no help in the middle. The right side, he'll wait. Now it trips and slips off the ball. Bethesda with a lucky break there. And a chance for Bethesda on the other end. Spacing is fortuitous for them, but they'll slow up. Joseph leaves it back. Bethesda will hold on to try to extend the possession. Chip into the end. Harrison Moore trying to run it down. Bethesda wins the battle. A trip on the other end. A throw in earned from the far side. An 18U matchup coming up next. Full day of action here, U.S. Youth Soccer National League play. Some substitutions coming out here as Brian Bracey back out for Mount Pleasant. And Jamie Coaches will head out. Free kick from the far side. Still loose. Nobody managed to hit that. Bethesda almost won the battle. Toby Olney called for the foul. Their head coach Luke Wildy was not a fan of that call. Sent to the other end. And Lighthouser can't control that. Lighthouser right side with an opportunity. And they'll whistle him off sides. 66th minute. Bethesda looking for the equalizer in this 80-minute match. On the far side, an opportunity for Mount Pleasant perhaps. Contact. To the ground goes Ruggiero. Kept in the Mount Pleasant end. Lighthouser trips a man off the ball. Carranza slides it over the far side. A scrap between Jackson Stebbins and a Bethesda player, and Stebbins wants a call he's not going to get. Josh Warsaw will put a foot into this one. Low line drive. Scoots along the ground. Toby Joseph. The chip the other way for Bethesda from the corner. Here's Harrison Moore. Moore tripped up in a foul. Mason the other party for Mount Pleasant. Harrison Moore with the free kick coming in the 67th minute. Bethesda has gone on goal with their set pieces thus far. It'll be Joseph, the conversation with Moore, maybe see if they go another direction. Nice bend to it, but it's deflected. Out of the box. Stebbins with some help. That one's blocked by Moore. They'll try to run it down again. This is Lighthouser, but Moore sweeps it away. Warsaw, a high boot toward midfield. A big breakaway opportunity averted. Mount Pleasant had a strong chance there to make it 2-0. A second goal this late in the match would be very devastating potentially. Bethesda has had their chances looking for the equalizer. As seeing Luke Wildy, their head coach, spending more of his attention turned back to his players on the bench, coaching them, telling them what he wants when he puts them in. There's as much attention to the bench as to the players on the pitch. Collision between Brian Bracey and another player, and now that's Ian Poe that hits the ground, and he gets back up for Bethesda. Bethesda can't keep it alive on the far side. Throw in from Mount Pleasant deflected. Another throw in from Stebbins. And now it'll be handled by Sigwald instead. Mount Pleasant scored their lone goal in the 51st minute of the match. Brian Bracey. In the corner, Harrison Moore knocking him off the ball. And Moore sends it the other way. Now Pleasant keeps it in the zone. Now throw in from Mason. Contact on the corner near side. You kind of feel like if Mount Pleasant could work off of a set piece, get a corner or something like that, they might have a chance to find that second goal. Bethesda just has to work things up to their end, and now the team have had a lot of success off of set pieces today. A rebound second chance goal yielded us our only score of the contest thus far. 38 degrees temperature the last I checked on this cold, windy day. You know, it has to feel colder than that. Looks beautiful on your screen, but blustery and chilly today. Now Pleasant with another opportunity on the far touchline. Sit in, deflected away. Bethesda plays the deflection. We'll turn it upfield and some space on the near side. Moore looking for the middle, but David Wang couldn't get there in time. Sent away by Mount Pleasant. About 10 minutes to go in our match today. Ian Poe in the middle. Is that one blocked? Still loose. Poe can't control. Good fight from Lighthouser in the middle. And the whistle, Lighthouser. Pattinson Mangus deliver the free kick here from the center circle. Chip toward the box, headed away. Kept alive by Sevilla Garcia. Mount Pleasant controls. Brian Bracey on the near side with some room. Kept in by Bethesda. Bracey again. Coming to the center now. Loose ball. Toby Joseph sweeps it away. Sevilla Garcia to the far side, but knocked loose. He'll run it back now, keeps it in bounds. Oh, it's lost on the far side. And Mount Pleasant will send it deep. Bethesda's charge stopped by Mount Pleasant. In the corner, Lighthouser trying to run it down. Can't set the cross. Great block by Mangus. Headed away. And a strong send back to the middle of the field. That one sent our way. On the near side, Harrison Moore tries to play it behind him. It's still loose. Moore whiffs on it. Olney somehow gets it back to Moore. Moore can't control. Almost had room working against Jonah Miller. One more play away from having an unabated look on the goal. Still loose. Miller runs it down. A throw in here from Harrison Moore. 74th minute of the match. Time running out for Bethesda, down 1-0, looking for the equalizer. Sevilla Garcia turns, sends it on goal. A little wide and a leaping save from Logan McCoy. And that flurry, about 30 seconds, about the strongest push we've seen out of Bethesda in this half. Sevilla Garcia thought about setting that on goal. Instead, played to the far side, gets it back. Pushed to the middle, looking for Norris. Missed connection there. Stebbins gets it back and looks for Carranza. Can't make that connection. This is Harrison Moore on the near side. Moore trying to deke out a defender. Makes a move inside. And it's lost in no man's land. Poe can't even run it down. Sent back the other way by Rizvalski. 76th minute now. The urgency very much felt. Kept in by Toby Joseph. A chance in the middle. Lighthouser. Crosses pass with a teammate. Will leave it back. Stebbins boots it to the zone. Missed in the middle. Can Mount Pleasant turn on it? Bracey trying to get positioning. It's kept away by Ian Poe. And now a chance ahead for Moore, but they can't get out ahead to him. A lot of contact in the middle. And I think we're going to see a card issued on Brian Bracey. Brian Bracey earns the card. Luke Wildy, the Bethesda coach, was saying he can't hit him that way. A lot of contact at the middle of the pitch. A substitution coming now is Shaw Honecker coming on for Mount Pleasant to replace, or for Bethesda to replace Andrew Wood. So Wood finished for the day. Honecker coming on here in the 77th minute. Last chance effort for Bethesda. Sevilla Garcia. Far side. Bethesda keeps it alive. And they'll not even play their keeper up to try to keep it in the other end. We saw that happen in a match yesterday. Team down late, played the keeper up a little bit late. Try to keep that offense on their zone. Again, Mount Pleasant also looking for an insurance goal. A lot of frustration on this Bethesda side. They feel they're playing very well. It's still down 1-0. And have not really had a lot of shots on goal. This one's into the box. Kept away. Give credit to Mount Pleasant. They have put the heat on all day long. Warsaw will hustle here with just a few minutes left in the match. Mount Pleasant looking for the second. Bethesda looking for a scoring opportunity. Stebbins sends it on goal, deflected away, batted loose, and popped right into the hands of Warsaw. 79th minute, Warsaw sends it deep. Off the side of Siegwald's foot. Stebbins will chase it down. Almost a loose ball for Bethesda. Throw in coming from the far side. Played by Mount Pleasant. Into the corner. Lighthouser looks for the cross. Finds it inside for Zeno Ruggiero, our goal scorer today. Now a chance on the attack for Bethesda. This is Elias Norris in a scrap. Norris can't stay alive. 80th minute of the match. Should be at least a minute of stoppage time attached, you'd think. Tie up with Norris. Back toward Toby Joseph. Wanted it, didn't get it. Rich Volsky sends it deep the other way. Joseph working to the middle. Rich Volsky with an arm. And Rich Volsky is going to earn a card. Forearm shiv right to the back of Toby Joseph. There'll be 2 minutes of stoppage time added, we're told. So 2 minutes to tie this up for Bethesda. Sevilla Garcia sends it deep. Batted around. Back outside the header. And now Mount Pleasant can turn on it. Here's Lighthouser. Lighthouser sends it deep. Zeno Ruggiero trying to run it down. Has an angle on Poe. Poe to the ground. Ruggiero on his feet. Ball behind him. Killed about 20 seconds. Bethesda trying to move it back up quickly. Mount Pleasant slams that door. Dribble it out to the middle of the pitch. And now a down Bethesda player and another card issued. Toby Joseph will get the card. This may add to the stoppage time. Mount Pleasant again with the lead. Send things deep. Stebbins can't run it down to the corner. A lot of hustle on that Bethesda end. See if they can mount an attack up the field. A lot of quiet on that Bethesda bench. And they know time is all but run out. A good strong effort by this Bethesda group. They really battled today, but Mount Pleasant, a strong goalkeeping, a solid defense to sweep away any Bethesda opportunities. Are a few moments away from coming away with the 1-0 victory today. And a goal in the second half. Loose in the far corner. Poe trying to turn on it. On the goal, and that'll do it. A late goal in stoppage time will provide some insurance. We're going to see who scored that. I think it's Bez Carranza. And we may not even see Bethesda with a chance here. They'll let it start. Poe will have it taken from him. Bethesda sends it the other way. Sevilla Garcia. Now check that. It is Wang that's knocked off the ball, and that'll be that. The official blows the play dead, and it's full time. A 2-0 final as Mount Pleasant has won 2-0 on the goal in the 51st minute by Zeno Ruggiero on the deflection, and the goal in the stoppage time period by Bez Carranza to pretty much put the nail in the coffin. So again, your final, Mount Pleasant picks up a